Welcome back to Urban Hermit, everybody. Cameron Jones here, along with my titillating guest host.
I'll take this one. That's Jordan Jones.
Yeah, that is you. That is you. I knew it.
And my other host,
Mark Nussle.
I said guest host for the first one. That's not true. You're going to be here every time, I imagine.
It's like an intervention. We're kicking one of you guys off, but I suppose it's either me or Mark.
I don't know. It's
titillating, arousing, mild sexual excitement or interest, salacious.
Ooh, you guys are brothers.
Well, I don't. I stand by what I said. Just a first topic.
Yeah, I'm going to stand by what I said too. I think
You are titillating.
I am titillating.
Less weird coming from me.
First topic I want to talk about. I've been watching, as you guys know, a lot of Bigfoot hunting shows and just in general trash on the Travel Channel. But
I guess take a drink at home.
But
Cameron's going to bring up Bigfoot every week.
I'm bringing up something super specific because in all of these shows, they always talk about these hundreds of plaster casts they have of Bigfoot feet. And it's coming from all different people, not always Bigfoot hunters. So who are all these assholes walking around the forest with plaster on them who are or are able to quickly... Me and Nicole are doing home repair, and the amount of times I don't want to go to Home Depot to finish what we're doing, let alone if I'm on a hike, I see a footprint, and I'm going to go out of my way to find plaster to get a cast. Like, who are all these people with plaster, Jordan?
There are people in their garages who have plaster and Bigfoot molds.
Okay,
Cameron, they're not out there in the woods
so
like
you're telling me it's all fake? Is that what
I
you're trying
want
to tell
believe
me?
for you, but I'd say there's a few assholes with plaster out there, but they're predominantly not getting really good molds of Bigfoot. But Mark, I'll let you take it. What do you think?
No, Cameron, I think you've got you got something here for like a bachelor party. I think we go camping and we figure out how to make Bigfoot feet, and we wear on our feet, and we kind of just fuck with all the locals.
I didn't know where you were going with bachelor party and plaster cast, and I thought we were making dick molds for sure. I was pretty sure we were going that route.
That is part of it. That is part of it.
Now, granted, I do see a lot of these Bigfoot hunters walking with plaster on them, so maybe I'm to believe that most of these samples are coming from hunters themselves.
How do you make a plaster mold? I mean, I am
just
curious.
Powder and water. I think you just pour it all in the hole. Well, you
Make
probably
a
have
slurry.
to. I'd imagine pre-mix. You don't want to, compromise the integrity of the prints.
How far would you want to go? I'm gonna bring up bachelor party now scenarios for you, Cameron.
Okay.
Cameron's gonna get married sometime. He's engaged. Probably gonna have a bachelor party. I'm thinking me, Mark, you, whoever else wants to come in a very city slicker scenario.
Okay.
City slicker scenario. We get you out there in the woods, Cameron. We find you some Bigfoot.
Sounds okay. Well, this one sounds like a setup for a scary movie. We're like, what started as a fun bachelor party weekend, and then
Three's company. I mean, we need more than just us three. I think, right?
They didn't in City Slickers. You just need three dynamic people to make a story, and then a cast of fools that surround you.
Oh, this does remind me of a movie. Hot Fuzz, one of the cops with the mustache. He's also in Shaun of the Dead. He's Peter Pettigrew's son. You know who I'm talking about? You Got Red on You. He's that one in Shaun of the Dead. Well,
yeah.
He's grown up. He's an actor himself now. I can't think of his name, but he
lost weight.
Yeah, he's in a really good movie called The Ritual. It's a scary movie about friends going into the woods on like a camp out kind of thing like that. Just remind me of that sidetrack. Sorry, but check out the Ritual. It's a good movie on something.
Sounds like the Blair Witch Project.
Kind sort of elements thereof.
His name is Rafe Spall. Is that him?
Yep, that's him. All right, thank you. Good find, quick find. But if we do go out Bigfoot hunting for my bachelor party, make sure we're gonna need plaster. I see him always banging sticks on trees. There's always the moment where there's like a overweight guy just going into the darkness, and then there's
Classic
some sort
Bigfoot
of
call. Yeah.
So
I do know I suggested it, but yeah, I'm gonna X out Bigfoot for your bachelor party, right? We're not gonna do that.
Oh, so you want to go just straight up ghost hunting? We find somewhere in Illinois with a haunted insane asylum kind of vibe. Go through there, get some.
Actually, in my head, like Bigfoot hunting's got a more enjoyable location because you're out in the woods, and maybe in the Northwest.
I mean, it's that or a musty house where we're definitely breathing in mold, possibly asbestos.
Yeah, I don't want to go ghost hunting. I would go on a ghost tour somewhere.
Oh, that'd be fun. I've only been on a ghost tour in New Orleans. I imagine Gettysburg would be fun. What are some other big ghost hotspots?
Savannah is a good one, I heard.
Savannah would be a cool one, I think.
I feel like anything that had the Civil War is going to have
Charleston.
something.
Yeah, some of that southern
Wait,
southern
Jordan,
states.
didn't you go on? Oh, you went like on a gangster tour, but imagine Chicago has to have something. We're an old town.
I've looked it up. They have stuff around. They have stuff around Halloween, but the kind of sucky thing about the Chicago ones, it's such a spread out city. You have to get in a bus, and like you just kind of get taken to like parking lot versus park. You know what I mean? Wherever they think places are haunted. Whereas these other towns we've said, New Orleans super walkable. Savannah, I assume, is like small. Our family, our mom, dad, and Jessica, they went to Galena, and they said it was like this shit.
Ooh, really?
Well, that'd be a good one.
It was like a small group, and they like gave them bullshit like ghost detecting stuff.
Love that.
So this is funny. Megan heard their experience in Galena, and we shortly after that went to New Orleans. So we want a ghost tour. She's like, "So when are we going to start detecting ghosts?" I'm like, "Oh no, that's not what this is. A walking history tour. They tell ghost stories. Like you've been misled by the Galena.
But your luck,
ghost
I
tour.
brought my own gear.
Yeah,
I do have a little of my own gear.
I
You
didn't
don't
get
want
to
to
go.
see President Grant's house? It's just over here.
There's got to be ghosts there. I did see though in Gettysburg when we drove through there, Cameron, you were like in a separate caravan on a bus.
True.
They do candlelight ghost tours.
Ooh, that'd be nice and creepy.
I did not go, but that'd be great. But I assume
What about something just like a haunted hotel? What about staying in something like that so it's still like regular modern accommodations for the most part? Like the Stanley. What's the Colorado hotel that The Shining's based off of? Would you stay in that one?
the Stanley Steamer Hotel. I went there.
Oh, well, there you go. So you've stayed at a haunted hotel.
No, we didn't stay there. We just like went on the tour of the grounds, and then they told us ghost stories.
Oh, okay.
But I went during the day. Half of it was like the Stanley Brothers Hotel, and this place is haunted for such and such because they're bad people or something.
I've
I
always
want
wanted.
a haunted bed and breakfast, maybe with some eggs Benedict with.
You have or you want to?
No, I'd love to go.
Okay. I've always wanted to do maybe like the Queen Mary. That's supposed to be very haunted and still doing things. That'd be fun.
I don't think they do it. What's the Winchester House?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think tours, but I don't know if there's like actual.
You can stay in the Stanley Hotel. What's the Queen Mary one?
It's the big ship that used to be like. It was.
You can stay in it though?
Oh, yeah. It's been. Yeah, it's like a hotel.
Oh, I remember that on some ghost show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's been on a bunch. In other news, I can touch my toes. That's it. That's the headline. I have been notoriously.
Any follow-ups? Does anybody have a follow-up?
I can just touch them.
I'm just super. I've always been really tight, borderline the kid from Rookie of the Year that I feel like I used to be faster when I was younger, and I think it was just because I was so wound up and I could snap at any moment. But I've been stretching a bunch recently, and I can touch my toes. That's it.
Straight legs, bending straight down. I mean, I can touch my toes from this angle.
Oh no, I'm talking straight legs, straight back.
down.
Just like I'm keep my back. I'm not even arching my back. I'm keeping that as flat as possible, guys.
Oh, I kind of want to try that right now.
I may be the most flexible I've ever been in my life. I am. I just know I am, actually.
You're limber.
I'm nowhere close
I'm not.
to.
That's just it, though. I'm just the most flexible I've ever been in my life.
So you're not quite limber.
I'm still wound. So I'm bragging about touching my toes. That's something that I think just a decent amount of people can do.
Do you remember that test in PE in like high school and middle school where like you'd have to reach out as far as you can past your toes? Were you in the negative at that point? You weren't even to your toes?
100%. I used to get so much shame from whatever the PE teacher was at the time, to the point where they had to push on my back to being like, you have to hit at least this note. Like, we got to get you to this
We can't
number,
pass
buddy.
you if you can't hit
like,
this.
and it hurt. And I let him put it like, oh, we can do it. We got to get to 0. And
All
Also-
those tests were kind of to me honor code because you did them all at once, right, with the whole class. So I'm
Yeah.
like, mark me down for whatever's passing. I didn't do that much push-ups.
well, I feel like they
Yeah.
measured the final one for you for some of the measurement stuff.
I don't think so. You had to also do like reach your hands behind your back and touch your
Yep.
fingers. I couldn't ever do that. Still can't do that.
Also, to put that in context, though, they were also doing scoliosis checks that they cleared
I
me
was about
for
to say,
every year, and I have bad scoliosis. Well,
They're
not
pushing
bad,
down on
but
your back. They're like, ooh, that's a double fail.
Didn't catch a thing. They good to go. Jonesy is what I got every single year, even when I
I
knew
was
I
such
had
a
it.
I was such a chubby kid. There's no way they could see my spine. There's fucking no
They're
way.
just, he's fine.
They're just if like I was really unaligned, like my shoulders were way right of my waist. It's like maybe could just be fat. I don't know, kid.
We were talking about this with some of our friends who grew up in Illinois, and it seems like their PE was just like basketball, track, like it was this actual sport activity. So, just for some viewers out there, what were some of your favorite PE games that we had in our school that you don't think people would have had elsewhere?
We all are gonna say the same answer.
Which one?
The most iconic game we played. Did you guys still play this? You're a few years younger than me. Barricade dodgeball.
We talked about this last episode, but
Oh, did we?
yeah, we did.
Well,
Yeah, we talked about all the dodgeball, snowball battle.
Oh, my
we
bad.
did.
Maybe the friends I was talking about was you
Was
guys.
us?
Yeah. So let me just pivot off that.
Did we have I know we had a dress code, white shirt, like black shorts or blue shorts in middle school. Did we have that in high school?
I think it's pretty much the same thing, though, wasn't it?
I don't think we did.
I think you can wear anything in middle
As long as it's sort of like
school.
athleisure wear, if you will.
Yeah, I guess it didn't matter. I feel like people just still kind of stuck to white gray for some reason, though.
There's always that asshole, though, Jordan. You brought up like the push-up, sit-up, like test or whatever it is. That's just you got Jeremy next to you going ham. He's he's doing crunches like he's never done crunches before.
You know who was like the most overperforming people in PE when we were kids or when I was a kid? It was people that were in shape but did not play sports. So they wanted to be like, look at me, I'm in shape. I don't play sports, but I want you to know that right here and now.
There's
in
no
PE,
other stage for me to show this on, so it's
But
here
if I
now.
did play, I'd be the best out there.
I'd be like, you should just play sports if you can do a lot of push-ups. I don't know. It's like,
What sport does that translate to? Basketball? I don't know.
oh, do you want to know my biggest grievance in conditioning in any sport? Can
Doing
you
it
guess?
in general?
No, that is number one. That was the
Suicide?
worst.
I mean, what do you mean grievance?
The most wasteful part of conditioning or training that we had to do in sports that doesn't make sense to this day that I still don't get.
No idea.
Karaoke's?
No, all those make sense. I get it. You're building endurance. It is fingertip push-ups. What the fuck is the point of that?
You were doing those back then? No one's doing those.
Jordan,
They
we're,
make
we're
you.
building mental strength, too. Can you
When do
endure
they
the
make
pain?
you?
Like in football and basketball. I don't know
Oh,
what
okay.
their purpose was. I guess to
Basketball,
toughen up-
maybe. Yeah, I could see.
Do you know what it
Finger
did?
strength.
It really strained your finger, so the next time
Yeah.
a ball touched it, you just jammed the fuck out of it. And I don't know if that's making your fingers as
You
strong.
can't even hold a pencil. And later that day, you had the Iowa test of basic skills, and you had to fill out these like scantrons with pencils.
Do you know how I knew the Iowa test of basic skills were happening every year?
Why?
I'm sure they gave you there's weeks of warning. Probably brought it up at the end of all classes, but it wasn't.
Time to time.
It was not apparent to me until that you got to school and they're like, "Here's a little bit of Cheerios for you in case you missed breakfast." I'm like,
like a Dixie
"Wait! It's happening now? You guys are feeding me? Oh no! It's the Iowa test of basic skills. I'm not mentally prepared
You
for
need
this."
your brain food. Here's a Dixie cup full of honey.
Do you know
nut
what was always the
Cheerios.
worst? If it was a section you weren't the most confident on, and just seeing people start like clearly finishing, and you're like, oh shit, I've not been using my time wisely. Apparently, I've been reading these
You do the
problems
double
too long.
take? Yeah.
Just looking around, I get panicked. I fill 5 in a row. I'm like, okay, we'll skip ahead 5 and just
Even
try
though
there.
I know like 2 + 4 is 6, and it's C, and I get like obvious answers.
Too
C,
many
C, C
Cs in a row.
Too many C's. I'm picking a D. I've got to pick a D in
See,
there somewhere.
what that'll get me to do, though, is look at that answer. I'm like, I know that's right. Now let me second guess the last 6 answers I've done, go back, and waste all my time. That's what I did.
If I'm running out of time, I'll just
Bubble in? Oh, of course.
I'll bubble in. You got to bubble in sometimes, don't we?
A lot
I
of
didn't
time.
I didn't stress about them. You
I
just
didn't
took
stress
it.
about them.
It was to me like, oh sweet, we don't have to take classes for a few days. Hit me up
After-
with some Cheerios. You guys got Honey Nut? No, just plain. Okay,
Just playing.
let's move it along.
After a
I
couple
will say
weeks when they
this,
got the
though.
results back, it is like the teacher kind of came in, sat on the desk, kind of sighed a little bit, just shaking his head. Guys, we're under 40% in the state. Like, this is too bad.
I'm like,
This
that's the
is too
state's
bad.
problem.
I
I'll
don't
tell you what,
remember my-
whatever my score was, I'm bumping it up by at least 3 times. You know, like I didn't ever tell honestly what my score was. I'm not a good test taker. I think it's because I'm stupid.
Well, funny enough, I was just thinking when I took the ACT, I don't remember my score, but I know I did pretty well. And I think the reason I did well is because at that point, I already knew I wasn't immediately going to college and I was just moving into a house with Mark and Chris. So it's like, this literally means dick for next year. It's like, I'm just taking this and like for when I eventually have to go to college if this fails. And I did pretty good. I remember.
Tell me you scored in the 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
20. I don't remember anymore. But I remember going out drinking the night before and rolling in, just being like, this is just doesn't matter at all. And it doesn't. It still doesn't.
I don't even know
It might
if you
come
have
up.
to-
It might come up still.
I hope not. I hope from now on I can find like gainful employment without being like, here's what I got on my ACTs.
Oh, you're past ACTs, Battery now.
I'd really hope so.
Although, put it on your next
I just
resume
wanted to
and be
scare him
like,
a little
what the
bit.
fuck is wrong with you?
By the way, my ACT score,
Are you 30?
not too bad.
Also, this is way below average.
Well, would this be impressive, actually? Okay, you're about to hire someone and you're like, just retook the ACT. That's my current score. Here's what I'm doing. What if it's a good score?
Oh, it'd
I'd
be
like
so
that.
hard
I'd like
now.
that.
Can you imagine how hard it'd be to take the ACT? When's the last time you read that much?
Oh, I would do terrible.
Guys, Can we take like an online ACT and then come back with our scores?
I'm sure we
Actually,
can.
no, I don't want to.
But imagine how impressive that would be if you're hiring. You're like, oh my god, this man retook the ACTs and did
Got a 32.
did as well as a high schooler.
So as a not smart person, this is the argument that non-smart people always have to make. It's like there's lots of different types of intelligence. It's not all just knowing a bunch of facts and applying it on tests and getting good grades and like being good at your job. It's there's a lot of types of intelligence.
So you got people skills, huh?
No, I learned my
That's a lie
intelligence
everybody
from
says.
the streets.
I definitely don't have that.
I
could get-
test well.
I could
I
get-
just
yeah, I-
don't get math. Never did, never will. Just failed to grasp
It's
it.
because Cameron, you can like bullshit your way through like
Sure
like
can.
English and history. You can kind of like work your way around an answer. Math is just
Right
it's
or
not
wrong.
mine. It's black and white. It is what it is.
Math has always been this. If we're talking standardized testing, I'm like, I definitely got it wrong, but this is the closest to my answer. I got to go with B.
Yep, that's pretty much me.
It's definitely the closest within 100 of what the right answer is.
The answer's
That's not how math
26.
works.
I got 25 through my work, and the rest are way off of that. I'm like, well,
Obviously, I'm not going to get there if I redo it. I got to go with what I'm closest to.
show your work. That pissed me off.
Would you like to know what happened to me the first time I was going to take the ACTs?
Oh, I was with you, if I believe.
Where you were?
Yeah, ask Cameron what happened.
I don't even
You
know what that
were.
means.
He was about to take the ACTs for the first time, but he was on the way back from seeing Rush in Cleveland, the band Rush. But two semis head-on collided on the highway, completely took out the interstate system, and you couldn't get back to take it for a day.
Cameron, I feel like you were late for a middle school band, Falfa's show. Our middle school band.
And our
We were
middle
kinda
school
pissed at
band
you.
missed a show, and we
It
had
was like maybe our first show ever. We're like, do we kick him out? I don't know if we do.
So this trip
I
happened.
am the Falfas.
This trip
That's
happened
exactly right,
probably. We went with our uncle. Can I say his name or can we say people's name? Hey, whatever.
Just
Our uncle
don't.
took
I don't
us.
edit these. Just whenever you're in doubt, don't do
Yeah,
it.
just say your uncle.
Okay, our uncle took us, right, and it was a big deal. This is the first real concert I saw. He's like, "Hey, Rush is coming back." He's a big Rush fan. I didn't really know him at the time. I was going into my senior year. Cameron's probably going into his 8th grade year.
That makes
So
sense.
he's like, "We're going to Cleveland. I got us Rush tickets." And we're like, "Awesome." So we had all this fun. We went to like a baseball game for the first time. Have an iconic beer guy, Cameron. How'd he sound?
Hey, beer guy.
That's not doing him justice. But yeah, he did say those words. Anyway, we don't want
You
to
put me on the spot there. What do you want from me? You do it, you know?
Hey, beer guy!
Closer to right.
And what was great about them, this was Cleveland Indians, 2004. Couldn't have been 600 people in the whole fucking stadium.
So
right?
empty. So you
Like
get,
on a Thursday.
It's
and
like
we
a
were
Cedar
sitting,
Rapids Colonels.
so you
It
would hear
really
this
was,
beer
except
guy
there'd be
from
more to
across the
Colonel's game.
stadium, like cutting through the baseball game, just like far corner, like outfield. Hey, beer guy.
So
All of a
Mark,
sudden he's above you.
His section was the upper deck. It was the whole fucking upper deck. It was just one guy. I imagine it was really tiring. Anyway, he was iconic. This accident happened on our way back. We're past Ohio. We might be in like Indiana at this time. But this is before MapQuest. This is before like cell phones and smartphones. So we were just fucked.
Actually, I remember this time because I used to brag about this for a while. Mark, you know, I'm directionally challenged. I get lost very easily, don't know my way around. But I helped navigate my uncle from like Cleveland back roads, like to Iowa, just like gravel roads and stuff, just using an old school map.
I love an old school map trip. You know, you just like looking at a map,
I don't know the
not
last
using
time.
GPS.
That's all I
Never
use now.
done-
I don't
I've
know
never
the last
done that. I don't know
time.
why I'm lying about that. I've never done that.
I mean, we weren't even in like the MapQuest days. We were like pretty much straight to GPS.
No, I remember literally printing out like a trip. I don't know where it was, but it was a literal like MapQuest. Like take a right on that. Like printing out a MapQuest destination.
Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, one of your friends up until a few years ago was still MapQuesting his way around.
I definitely think he MapQuest the, let's see, 4 Super Bowls ago when we were in our old apartment, that big snowstorm. Yeah, probably like 4.
Okay.
He could have, he didn't need to be. He definitely shouldn't have been. He got around. I definitely did probably 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years of heavy MapQuesting. Most of my college was MapQuest before like my senior year, and you got smartphones.
I've actually been having a bunch of problems with Waze recently, and I've been
I was
going
about to say
downtown.
you use Waze, but I don't use Waze, but I want to.
They've been having a bunch of issues this last week, and I've been losing reception, which is annoying because I've been downtown, and I almost ended up on Lower Wacker twice because it was just rerouting to wrong directions, and I had to dip out quick I'm not getting stuck in Lower Wacker. For those that don't know, inside baseball, if you don't live in Chicago, there's Wacker downtown, which is above ground, daylight, fresh air, and then there's Lower Wacker, which is where they film scenes of The Dark Knight and like Batman Begins when it's like dirty Gotham, and it's impossible to find your way out. You lose all reception. It's a nightmare down there.
When I get on Lower Wacker,
Skid Row.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I get on Lower Wacker, I just put my arms up, and take a drink if you're playing at home. Like Dances with Wolves, and I just accept that I'm never getting out of Lower Wacker. It's over.
In your defense, I
It's
think
just over.
I think you mentioned Dances with Wolves on the other podcast, so I think you're actually safe unless you're a premium
Take a
content
drink.
provider.
I'm going to bring it up. Shame on white hero movies, but I really do like that movie. What can I say? I've gotten better at Lower Wacker. You can kind of ride it till you see an exit, but it's the worst.
If you guys, we're back on the beer guy. If you were a vendor at a baseball game, basketball game, which would you want to do? Do you want to hold the big hot dog heater? Do you want to hold a bunch of beer cans? Do you want to hold the cotton candy sticks and the lights, like for the
Cotton
kids? What are
candy
we doing
stick
here?
and the lights. That seems the lightest. I have a terrible back, so like I'm gonna mess it
Maybe
up.
less
no matter
tips
what.
though. Parents a little pissed because they. Don't
I
wanna
think
pay
if
for
you're
the lights
if
and
you're
cans.
going to do the work, you got to do beer guy for tips.
Yeah, I think that's where you're gonna get the most money.
But that is a shift. Cotton candy guy, you may never sell out all season. I don't fucking know.
Your
The worst
legs
has
are
to-
gonna be jacked.
The worst
though.
has to be the sausage container, right? The hot dog guy. You're carrying that
Big
whole
container.
It's a
It's a big heavy metal container. I mean, they're all heavy. They all suck. I wonder what the weight ratio is. I would have to believe they're similar.
You see each guy with like a different sort of padding system underneath their like straps, just like some
Mark-
towel they brought from home.
This is based off, like, I've seen you work. Like, you've got what it takes to be the beer guy. I don't. They'd probably put me on something. I wouldn't even get in the main, You got beer guy written all over you. You could kill it.
Jordan, you and I have bar back of the concession stand vibe. We're gonna rush to get those like refills because it's busy in between.
busy.
So that's what we are.
You know what the best job there is, and I don't know if this is considered concession, but it's the raffle ticket person.
Okay.
Ooh, 50-50.
That's a 50-50 easy job. I don't even know.
I
You have to
was gonna
report
say it's
your
the people at the
sales.
gates that just say, "Do you know where you're sitting?" And they point like 5 feet away. I'm like, "You're right there, dummy. I know this section pretty well because it's only this radius." That's
Have you ever
probably
been Have you ever done a 50-50 at like a Cubs game, like buy a raffle ticket? You ever been close?
Yeah. When we go with like Megan's family, like they got kids and they're all about it. Never been close to winning. Don't.
Yeah, never.
And in some exciting news, Jordan, you remember the sunglasses that used to go over your glasses that you used to wear, your old people sunglasses?
Yeah, it was an iconic look.
I recently purchased 2 modern-looking versions on Amazon. So my prescription sunglasses are amazing, but I always forget
Sorry, Mark.
get them.
Signature look.
Signature.
Signature look.
Yes, correct.
That is true.
Correct.
That's
And
what
I
I
don't know
agree
what
on.
you mean by like modernization of this.
They
I'd
aren't
love to
as
see
big
what
and
you mean.
clunky as Jordan's. They're
Yeah,
a
they're
little-
called. I know exactly what they're called. We're talking about.
Do you
old,
clip 'em on?
Nope.
They they go over
they're
your
just
entire
slimmer.
glasses. They cover
Slimmer.
everything. So
I know
the-
exactly what they're called. They're called Sport Edition. They're those, but they say Sport on it, and they're a little bit slimmer.
Who can say? I bought them off Amazon, so there were a million options. The point is, now they're giving me 2, and I'm very excited. I'm gonna ditch one in my car, one in my girlfriend's car. And the whole point of this is
I want to look this up. What do you call these? I'm sorry.
I just put sunglass covers. I will never again now drive with glaring sunlight because I never remember to grab my prescription sunglasses.
and you don't want transition lenses. You don't want to do any of
No,
that kind of
I'm
weird
not an
stuff?
asshole. Our mom had them for a while, and there were so many times where she was walking inside blind and dark because she was coming from inside, and it took way too long to transition. Maybe the technology's updated, but
Here's the thing about transition. It's like a jack of all trades, master of none. You just get stuck in the middle. You don't have sunglasses. You don't have regular glasses, and you look like you're up to no good.
and unless it's
Transitions
cool
are
yellow
a
or blue,
lie.
and you're like a sweet Matrix Morpheus, it ain't that cool.
Do you think any of us could pull off the Robert Downey Jr.? We've got yellow lenses.
No.
I cannot myself. No.
No, I don't think. Maybe if we're snowboarding and doing something extreme, because that seems the
No,
only
you know what
color-
I'm talking
I know what
about.
you
You
mean.
have sunglasses or regular lenses. Just
I need you to know that those just aren't slimmer. Those just
Mark, there's a lot of different brands, okay, baby?
Those, Mark, those are pretty sleek. I
Those
just
are
want to
pretty
tell you.
sleek,
They,
bro.
they get clunky.
those are streamlined.
They get pretty clunky.
Here's the beauty of it, Mark. I'm just ditching those in a car. That is specifically when I get in, I'm like, oh, it's bright, and I can just pop those over my glasses. I'm good to go. I'm driving.
Jordan had these exact ones with a little
Yeah.
little window on the
Got a
side
little
too.
window on the side.
You know, in retrospect, I'm starting to think the ones you have are slimmer and more modern than the ones I just purchased, but we'll find out.
One of the biggest reliefs that I've had in the last 20 years, I had just broken a pair of those right before we were going to go to our sister's wedding in Israel. And I didn't have prescription sunglasses at the time. So the night before Megan and I fly out to Israel, I went to like 7, and this is where you get them. I went to 7 CVS's. It felt like 7. I went to like 3 CVS's, and the last one finally had it. And I like hugged Megan like we just found our dog that was missing. I'm like, oh, thank God it's back. Like, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I'd call her in here, but I think I did it last podcast, and I don't think she wants to be a part of it. So, but anyway, next time you guys talk to her, bring it up. She's like, oh, yeah, it's like the truest hug we've ever had.
I will, but I'm very excited for these sunglasses to come in. You guys make any stupid purchases recently? I make a ton, but nothing too bad. With those, I mean, I don't count that as stupid.
Stupid purchase.
I went to like 3 movies in the movie theater, but I enjoy that. But it's a waste of money. Everything comes out and streaming a week later.
Yeah, but it's the experience, man. You know, got to keep it alive.
I rather see. I mean, it's funny for the amount I spend on a movie, I could just buy it digitally twice.
I was thinking about that when I rented Edge of Tomorrow. It was $3.49, and to own it, it was like $7. I'm like, what am I doing?
Have you ever done that though? Have you ever digitally bought a movie? No.
I have. I own it on Apple TV, and it's a Midsummer Night's Dream, the 90s version, and it's a go-to-bed movie I have. If I'm like out and about and I need to pass out to something real boring with fun music, I put that on.
It's a great go-to-bed movie. Mm-hmm. I have a weird season of You're the Worst. I bought it before a plane flight when this was, I don't know, whatever. I got a TV like one season on my phone. I watched it when I was in Greece with Megan because it was the only thing that I had downloaded on my phone. So
my YouTube account, I own every season of Pushing Daisies. I bought it because I missed it. It was a show that used to be narrated by Jim Dale, got canceled. I loved it. Couldn't find it anywhere. I could only buy it, not even rent it, on YouTube. So one day I said, fuck it. Now I own all that on my phone too.
Mark, how about you? What do you got?
Own anything digitally? Get with the times, babe.
You know, when I had an iPod, I for some stupid fucking reason, I bought one episode of South Park, and it's the
Easter
Hippolytus Hoppitus Cannabis episode of South Park, and I just own one episode of South Park digitally.
How many times have you watched? I bet a lot though.
Yeah, like every plane ride, I'd be like, I'll pop that on.
Yeah, that was the fun.
It's gonna give me a half an hour of content for sure.
I remember a friend of the podcast, Chris, when he first got his video iPod, and he's like, check out all these music videos I stored on here, but it wasted so much room on his iPod.
Yeah, like one episode took up like all my gigs.
Oh yeah, we weren't ready for it back then to be stored. But it was exciting. Look how almost clear it is. It's like when we got that Weezer song on our Windows 1995.
Almost clear it is.
That's impressive that existed. How much what was that? Microsoft Windows 95?
I think we had a 7, I think.
What's the
was
next
okay,
time?
97.
What's
Think
the
about
next
how much
time
memory
that's going to happen to us? So it happened with Weezer. They just made us have Weezer. It happened with U2. With Apple Music, they just made us have the U2 album.
Well, it's different. I feel like the Weezer thing, that was a fun bonus content that was on it, and it was groundbreaking. So they're like, hey, look at this. You get it. U2 was forced upon us. That was like...
you couldn't even delete it. You could not delete it.
That was a little different.
I thought somebody identity thefted me and bought U2. I'm like, why would you buy this U2?
Speaking of which,
not even U2 any of us know.
The past 48 hours, I've been getting an absurd amount of texts that are like, hi, John, it's been a while. I haven't talked to you. Or like, hey, it's Stacy. Like, been thinking about you. It's like weird, like phishing texts.
That's porn virus.
You think?
I got that John one on WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. I was getting some through WhatsApp, too.
I got that one today. I'm like, hey, John, what's up?
Yeah, I got that too. And then I'm getting a few of like girls being like, hey, it's been a while since we've talked, just seeing how you're doing. And I've just been deleting them as I go. But like, what's going on? You're getting them too, huh? Or my phone has corrupted yours and I'm taking us all down.
That could be. Megan and I went out for lunch yesterday and a walk. Mm-hmm. And we put our name in with one restaurant, but they had like a crazy long wait. So we ended up going to another restaurant. And while we were eating, I panicked because I had 2 missed calls from Chicago. I'm like, oh no, what could this be? Like, how am I in trouble? And then I looked up, I'm like, oh yeah, it was that restaurant. It was just 10 minutes ago.
The amount of Amazon deliveries and random things I've missed from like, who do I know from Seattle? I ignore and just deliveries. So many.
Well, no, I normally
yeah.
feel that way, but I got a missed call from like a Chicago area code. I'm like, that's troublesome. I don't like that at all.
We used to have problems getting deliveries at the apartment, and a genius thing I did was created a Google phone number. That way I could just have a phone number.
That's genius. I need to start. I still live there, and we still do. So
having like a phone number
I need
listed
that.
downstairs that like isn't your number, and then people have to leave. It's like a collect call. Like essentially, Google will make a call, and then you'll receive a call being like, "You've received a call from John. I'm downstairs," and then it cuts him off. And then by then
The
he's
fuck
already
is this guy?
he's already
You
leaving
just hear him,
his
like, tapering
UPS
off.
note that's like, "I tried and I'm out of here, man." But at least you get
Pretty
close.
smart.
John
Well,
from
look-
Taco Bell. Jesus Christ! What the fuck is this?
We're like, we got the buzzer here, so like nobody calls us.
Oh, Nicole did buy we have like a Ring security system, but we just haven't put it up. Well, because there's also subscription based for all that stuff. So we have the equipment, but then we'll have to pay to have features. So because of that, I have not installed anything.
Oh, I gotta get it in before I run out. Just a baby update.
Oh, yeah, what
Can
size?
you guess what size? What size do you think we're
What
at
were
now?
we at last time? We were at a lemon. We were at a
peach,
We were at a
peach.
pear or pe- We were at a pear, right?
Pear, yeah, weird pear-shaped body.
Mango. That's too big.
I'm going off fruit. I'm going softball.
Softball. I'm gonna go a grapefruit. That's too big too. Or
So this one's surprising.
Oh shit!
Avocado. It doesn't feel like that's even. It might even
That
be
might be
smaller
smaller
now.
than that. Might
yeah,
be smaller
that's
than
at least a
pear.
I
parallel
assume we're-
move. Yeah.
Everything's all right.
So I mean, I guess it doesn't have lots of growth every year. They just ran out. Like, avocado. What do you want?
The
from
next
us?
four
Like, I
are
don't
going to
know.
be the exact same size fruit.
Yeah, it's
It's a
gonna
little
be an
less
avocado.
citrusy.
Yeah, a lot more expensive though.
It's got the good fat.
It's pricey. It comes from Mexico. Great commercials.
Oh, are we still having problems with avocados right now? I feel like those are banned or not coming in, or what would happen with that?
Avocados are good fat.
Thanks, Biden.
What were you saying, Jordan?
Oh, I think that avocados and nuts are a lie. Yeah, they're good fats, but not if you just put them on top of all your other fats. They have to replace so much.
Oh, I was thinking about this, like the food pyramid, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They always grains and meats and fruits and vegetables, and then on the top it's just cookies and candies and why do they do that? You don't that. That's not part of that. You don't need sweets. I get what they're doing, but
I would look that up.
top is just
do we
cake.
even have the food pyramid anymore by now? Because I always
No,
remember.
I think it got.
Yeah, I remember growing up there
Last
were
I
issues
s-
with it always.
Last I saw, it got replaced by a plate and how much vegetables versus the other things they're supposed to have. And the last time I saw that was probably the last time I was in organized learning, So I don't know what it is now.
it's like a funnel system. It's that's just an upside down pyramid. You fuck.
Do kids even know what the food pyramid is anymore? That's a question.
No, plus I hear they do addition differently than us.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, they do.
I don't know. It's just they don't add like we learned.
I bet it would have helped me. Damn.
Well, and I think it's instead of 5 plus 2, it's they have to. It's well, how many 2s are in 5? Well, 2 and it's they really make it harder than it needs to be.
Oh, I've learned a bunch of, TikTok has shown me a bunch of good fraction, addition, subtraction, multiplication tools that
Are we on math again? God.
that I didn't
One of
know.
my
So
favorite
that's kinda
memes
good.
is fuck you to all the teachers that said you're not gonna
Always
this
have a
when we were growing
calculator
up.
on you.
Always have a calculator in your pocket. It's well, yep, you do.
Turns out we didn't need that.
What's great about having a kid with Megan is since she's just so much smarter than me, just go ask your mom. I'm never gonna be able to get you the right answer.
Ooh, I'll never forget that sad day. I always used to take my math homework home to Dad to help me understand it because I spaced out during math class and didn't pick up a thing. But finally one day in Algebra 2, when he was reading the problem, he's like, "I've read this chapter 5 times. I don't get this anymore. You're on your own." And I was like, "Wait, what? I can't figure this out on my own."
See,
It's
that's
Cameron,
what's
there's letters now.
That's what I hope that our parents respect about us. I just never brought my homework home. Didn't make it their problem.
There was a algebra.
I was a Monday- I was a
teachers
morning
edition.
guy.
There was an algebra teachers edition that was working its way around our grade and our friend group.
Oh yeah.
Cameron, do you remember that?
Oh yeah, it's the reason I passed Algebra 1 and 2.
Yep.
Maybe this is a little
out there.
incriminating, but
What are you gonna do? Take away my diploma? Take away my high school diploma? You gonna come after my GPA now? I'll retake the ACT. I'll work
I'm not
around
gonna
it.
take that again.
put that shit on my resume.
Do you think if you took the GED, you could pass high school right now?
No. Dude, science? Absolutely not. You got to be practicing that. I mean, I could probably, if you gave me like a month or two to re-up. I was really bad at like science and math. I could pass like history for sure. I could pass a government class. I could pass an AP government and writing
Jordan,
class.
I think you just talked yourself up to 60 to 70% right there. You're at least,
Yeah, I
you're
know,
almost a
but-
D.
Math and science, absolutely not. No. Geometry? No. I couldn't do that right now.
Well, here's the fun of it, though. I mean, it's all multiple choice. There's a good chance you could at least kind of, deduce.
Yeah, I mean, there's that chance always, but it seems like if you don't know it, you ever take a test, not a standardized test, just a. We've been teaching the last 3
pop
weeks of your
quiz.
class. No, just a scheduled test that you didn't even remotely prepare for, and as you're taking, you're like, if I had just listened or studied, these answers seem pretty obvious. But with the knowledge I have right now, there's no way I can answer this.
You know, a classic
I just
question
don't know what it is.
It's just, is this on the test? Is this going to be on the test?
Oh yeah, I love people
Classic
like, do I need
question.
to know this? Here's the type of not advanced math classes I was in. If somebody asks a question is like, why does this happen? They're like, you don't need to know that for the test. You're wasting everybody's time.
It's like, oh shit,
Mine and yours.
Back to sleep I go.
Yeah,
I had a
well,
few
thank you for
classes
telling
that
me.
arrogant enough that I just thought I was like, oh, I've paid attention enough, I guess. They were the science classes. It was physics with Powell, but I just really thought I'd grasp it. But it turns out a lot of things were talked about when I was spacing out and hanging out with the cadet teachers.
You're taking notes, and all of a sudden, there's 5 other extra things have flown by.
I talked about my cheating in math, but I'm almost proud of my cheating in that science class because one. It was the first time in our high school that we were taking the test online, so we could just look up the answers as we went. And I had 2 friends cadet teaching who were students helping assist the teacher in our class that I would just put my name at the top of empty sheets and have them fill in the answers for me while they were grading.
That's easier. That's a good.
Bad
choice.
And that's the class.
Bad
That's the
student.
class I went to the test. Was like, oh, I think I understand everything about physics.
When I was in school, if I can read and retain stuff. Like I could read a story and retain a story, but I can't read like textbook stuff and memorize it that well. But if I can listen to your lecture or you talk, I can retain by hearing it.
Oh, the reading comprehension
better than-
section was always by far my best. And that was actually the only one where I felt like I did finish early and I was the one looking around like, look at all you dummies.
I read so slow. I never had a chance in those. I wish I was dyslexic, but I think I'm just dumb.
I'm just middle of the road. I'm just an average reader. I've never been a fast reader.
I can't read fast at all.
We had a crazy friend. We had a class in high school just called independent reading where you just read. But we had a crazy friend who was listening to a book on tape while reading a book at the same time, claimed to have retained both things and tested on it. I mean, granted, there wasn't much testing in that class, but said it.
Were they both new to who was listening to and reading, or the reading? Sorry, when he was listening though, had he already heard the story?
Yeah, one was like Harry Potter.
Okay, then that's like background noise. That's ambient noise.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
That's just
It's
that's
not
my
the
white
same.
noise.
You'll hear like smart people like John Quincy Adams or John Adams can write Latin while he's speaking French. It's like, cool. What's the fucking point? Like, good job. You really put us in our place.
You know?
Are you doing either well?
One thing I'll say though, I think my cursive is better than my regular chicken scratch handwriting. Both are pretty illegible, but I think I prefer writing in cursive kind of.
Both of mine are awful. Takeaway from that is I don't think they teach kids cursive anymore, so that's one of the many things we have.
But how will they write
from younger
checks?
ages.
You got to respect just anything.
Everything's electronic nowadays. Completely writes in cursive, I can't do.
Completely right. Yeah. Who just they?
No, I mean
solely
I
write in
can
cursive.
completely write in cursive, but I don't write enough.
We had a great aunt with ridiculously good penmanship who wrote in calligraphy. Now that'd be kind of fun, just getting one of those fancy ink point pens.
She could write really
Granted,
well.
that was one
I
of
have a
those
double-
letters I couldn't read a thing of it, but it looked beautiful.
It looked pretty. Yeah.
I have a double S in my last name, and it's maybe one of the toughest combos to write like in cursive.
I think I've written your name a
'cause it
lot. I
connects-
actually kind of enjoyed that. It's a nice little roop roop.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it
a little
connects
it's
at the
wavy.
bottom, though.
It connects at the bottom, and then it doesn't look right anytime I do it. I've never.
What's one
Got a
class you
handle
took
on
in
that.
high school that is just completely obsolete now?
Math.
For my life or in general?
Some of the math we took definitely, but independent living. It was all about balancing checkbooks and like making
Yeah.
grocery lists, and now just like that entire class gets to just be managed online.
At a time though, that was like even when we first moved to Chicago, Cameron. Like,
Oh, it was
we were
at the
doing
time the most useful class that actually was there. It was teaching me how to like live independently in the next few months. But it was so rudimentary that most of us were like, we already have bank account, we already have this stuff. Like we kind of understand. If it would have taught me how to do my taxes, that would have been nice. Jordan
You know
is
what was
holding
dope
up
was-
his signature.
Well,
I will
holy
say
fuck.
Jordan has been working on his signature and bragging about it for years.
That looks like
I gotta
that's a
su-
John Hancock. That's you don't call
It
that
is a John
that
That
is
is
John
a,
Hancock.
that's a presidential seal right there is what you got.
That's
But Mark,
presidential.
what's lucky about me and different from you?
The double J.
I only had to learn one letter. My
Yeah.
name's Jordan Jones,
And
so
a
I didn't
J-
have
a
to like
J
master
is-
two.
I can do
It's
a
a good
J,
letter.
and there's
Yeah.
no J in my name.
I think J might be one of the toughest. Sorry, the easiest cursive letters.
Yes.
You
I
know
do
what's
enjoy
hard?
using mine.
An M. M is in Michelle or Michael or
I
Matt.
have
That
an
is
M,
a,
two S's.
that is a
I have
tough
an
one,
N
Mark.
too. Yeah, it's tough.
That's a tough one.
Do you do a tail? Do you don't do a tail? I mean,
I want to do a tail. I want to do a tail, but I don't. Cameron, the class that was probably most obsolete when I took it was childhood development.
Okay, just taking care of a kid.
That was one portion of it. It made me really, really scared to get someone pregnant,
Jordan,
though.
I don't wanna-
That really put the fear of God in me.
I mean, I know we're maybe 4 or 5 months away here, but I don't want to alarm you. But you're about to have a kid.
Here's what I know from that, and here's the two things I took away from it. Don't shake your baby. So
This
I'm
is
not gonna
this
do
is
it.
a Nate Bargatze, but he's like, but I took the baby home from the hospital, and they said don't shake your baby. Now all I'm thinking is like, I'm just gonna shake this baby, or is it not shake the baby? I can't remember.
we took home a fake baby for a weekend, and that sucked. And it was like all the portion of your grade, and like if you shook it, it monitored it. Don't shake your baby. But this is what scared me. Do you want to know the scariest stat I learned in childhood
Do
development?
they stop breathing sometimes?
No, like SIDS, like that's all scary. There's nothing but scary stuff with kids. But no, it's that, and this scared me so much as a high schooler. A sperm can live up to 3 days in like a damp area. That's what it did. So, warning
started
for
coming
people
into
listening.
dry socks instead of the-
Warning for people listening. This is gonna get graphic. I completely stopped jerking off in showers. I'm like, I can't. I just can't risk it. Like I had to be far away from where there's like shared communal places. I'm
Jesus
like, I'm not gonna get somebody pregnant in a shower.
Well, kudos to you.
Oh my god, I don't even want to comment on that. But I
Well,
You
agree.
can keep that or
still
take it
scared.
You know,
out.
growing up in the same household, though, that's pretty cool to hear.
That I didn't shirk off in a
Yeah,
shower.
glad that stopped.
Oh yeah, you had a different life though. You could jerk off anywhere. You were the you're the king of your own kingdom.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I assume that, and this, without sounding rude, Cameron pretty much, since he was the youngest of our family of five, by the time I graduated high school, he was just beginning high school. So my freshman year of college was his freshman year in high school. So I assume that if you turned on a black light from the time I graduated to the time you graduated, it was just
It's a goddamn
like a Jackson
room
Pollock.
raiders.
Yeah,
It's a goddamn room raiders room in there.
like mine was probably really
Jackson
concentrated in an area.
Jordan,
I'm sure
Jordan,
just you had,
if you made the fucking room and you made it with black carpet and like black and like I didn't need the black light. Everything was just black in there, man.
It's like Dumb and Dumber with Bob Saget. There's cum everywhere.
Everywhere.
no, I know, but like that was just your room, but you had like the whole basement.
Oh, I had my own
bedroom,
private
just-
bathroom. I had I pretty much had the basement to myself. It was very nice.
You were living a different life.
I guess I never told our sisters this, but I kind of just dropped the knowledge on them that I had the key to that movie theater growing up. That like I guess the family didn't know that I was just going there with my friends late at night and watching movies and hanging out. But that was like mostly what the job paid in. It wasn't money. It was just location, just having somewhere to go.
What Ocean's movie did we watch there?
Oceans
13?
Yeah, it had to have
12?
No, it was in Ocean's.
Probably
It was
13.
It had to have been 13.
Fun fact about that movie: I didn't know how to use the projector that well, and I had the wrong lens in, and we were only watching like the top right-hand corner of that movie. And the whole time I was like, "I broke it. I broke something bad," and it was all fine. But we watched it.
I bet that Cameron, I never worked there long enough. We worked at the same movie theater growing up. Mark actually might have worked there a little bit too. Castle Theater in Manchester, Iowa. I bet if you broke something on that, it would have been really expensive to replace since it was a real projector.
Oh, enormously expensive. If you ever look
Reel to reel.
they had a bunch of just like movie theater catalogs full of equipment, and everything in there was like hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was a lot. It was a lot of money.
Guys, I have
think
some. Well, Jordan, go on if you have something else on that.
Oh, no, I was just going to go off on the movie theater.
No,
Stay tuned for the next time we bring it up.
And
I
we
wanted
will.
to. I wanted to touch base on this viral question that's kind of been going around the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's been on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. Are there more wheels in the world or more doors in the world?
Doors.
I would imagine doors.
Just think.
Because-
just think. Just think. Think.
I'm sticking doors.
Can I make a quick argument?
Yeah, I want to hear the quick argument.
For most of the places I can think that have wheels, and I know there's a lot of different things, like a skateboard has wheels, blah, blah, blah. But every car has doors that has wheels. So you double up on...
Well, so a car has 4 wheels, no.
2 to 4 doors.
2 to 4 doors, also a steering wheel. So for every car you have, there's 1 extra wheel.
But there's 2 doors in the place I'm sitting right now. But the chair I'm on has 6 wheels, so I don't fucking know.
I don't know why
Jordan,
this
there's-
question is
there's
making
more
me so
doors.
mad.
There's more doors in the place that you're living right now. You have a front door, bathroom door. You have cabinet doors. I'm going to call those doors. I might be team door. I am. Until someone can... I opened up my microwave.
here's the
and
thing.
There's a spinning plate that has 3 wheels for 1 door.
How cute are we getting?
It's
a wheel of
that's just it.
cheese.
It sounds
cute.
like real cute. So because of that, I feel like I have to switch to wheel because they're being pretty generous on what is a wheel.
Don't be stupid. It's doors. There's so many more doors. Think of a
Think of an 18-wheeler, though,
Jordan, Mark, I'll say this: how many wheels are in your
think of
apartment? And I can
a
see
90-story building, and how many doors are in those
Fuck.
fucking things?
Yeah, but then you've got elevator shafts, and we've got pulley systems and wheels
Yeah,
there.
you're talking about like a handful of wheels versus every door for every hall for every office building.
And someone tried to make I'm not on this argument. Someone tried to make an argument that, like, well, maybe a door handle is a wheel. And I'm like, all right,
it's
what
a
are we
door
doing
handle.
here? What are we fucking doing here?
I don't like it.
You're off
Guys,
the
it's got to be doors. It just does.
Your team door.
Yeah, because not everybody. Yeah, I'm definitely team door.
Team door. Cameron?
Door started door, went wheel, back to door.
Here's why. Here's my answer. If you just broke it down to living versus driving, not everybody owns a car, but most people that aren't homeless have a door.
But think about
1 door.
charter systems, like trucking systems. Yeah, like I feel like that makes up for people who don't have cars, is like all these fleets of vehicles, Amazon vans.
Train wheels.
Train wheels, Cameron. They have doors. Sliding doors have wheels.
Yeah, but that train wheel has 6 doors.
Doors.
As well. I'm just saying, like, we're
Yeah,
there-
okay, Jordan. Yeah,
I
you're-
think
you're
there's
making me
doors without wheels. There's not many wheels without
without
doors.
Doors without doors.
1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1.
1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. Let us know that in the comment section, if anything.
Yeah, are you team door, team wheel? Let us know.
And tell us if you had any fun middle school, high school cheats. Anybody get caught cheating? I did. That's for another time.
Yeah. Any other closing topics you guys want to bring up? We're kind of wrapping up on an hour here.
Real quick sports comment.
Mm-hmm.
Go Hawkeyes. The men's basketball, women's basketball, amazing. It's gonna
I'm
be a fun
excited.
March Madness.
I'm Sweet 16 for both the men's and the women team. I just am. Mark, are we going to do another gentleman's wager? Cameron, you want to get in
Love
this?
gambling.
Fill out a bracket, see what we
Hey,
do.
brackets.
Maybe, I
I'm
don't
more
know.
of a one-off. Watch the game, win or lose.
So how did we do it last year? It's just for every win you get a point, and like you get 2
We
points.
had
for,
a scaled point system, but I think you and I just agreed to make it as easy as we could.
like what, like 1, 2,
1,
3,
2,
4,
3.
5,
Yeah,
for each
something like
round.
that. Mm-hmm.
I don't hate that.
All right, let's do it. Cameron, get in on it. What else
If I
are we
win,
gonna
it'll
do?
be infuriating.
We got to do it by Thursday, though. That's when the tournament starts.
Just remind me. If it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. That's how I operate.
So we're not going to do any points for the play-ins because that starts tomorrow, I think.
I think they started plans tonight, so we just accept who's ever there.
Tonight, Monday.
Yes.
No, they start.
Oh wait, no, they start Wednesday, right?
They start tomorrow and Wednesday. There's a couple of
Well,
games tomorrow.
We have until tomorrow to talk about it, and I'm sure this is good content for the radio. But I say we just allow the play-in games to be whoever they are. We start the Thursday.
A couple more things. Tom Brady is back, I guess, unretired.
I don't think you call that retiring.
Fuck that guy. Like, what do we? I mean, it's gonna be. We talked when he retired, like, oh, kind of want to see the legend play a little more, and I do. But what? Come on, man.
Don't Brett Favre us where you're like, I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. Just make up your mind.
The only person who can do that is Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have done it either.
No, nobody should do it.
I will say this. I'm not surprised he came back because a lot of people speculated that he might Tom Brady. I'm surprised, one, that it was, a month and a half after he, and I'm putting air quotes in, retired. And I thought he was going to go to a new team, like go to the 49ers or something, who he cheered for as a kid. I thought that'd be more fun than just playing for Tampa Bay again.
If he just keeps traveling to new teams, get him to championships.
I would have loved if he actually went back to New England. I don't know why.
That would have
Give
been
me
fun.
somewhere new. Yeah, just give me whoever the worst is like right now in the league. Throw him there. See what he
Cool,
can
the
do.
Bears.
So the
Yeah,
real
come here.
question now is,
That'd be nice.
You think this is a one and done, or we got 3 more years?
Depending
now?
on how he looks, I think it's all based on how he feels and looks.
I literally think he wants to end. He wants to end with the Super Bowl, and that's
Is he gonna wait to play with LeBron's son as well? Oh wait, that's just LeBron.
right. Super team. Yeah.
That's never gonna fucking happen. His kid can't play basketball. I digress. I mean, his kid's not an NBA player, right?
I don't know.
Not yet.
It doesn't seem like if he didn't have that put out there that LeBron will play with him and retire. It doesn't seem like LeBron's kid was gonna make it to the NBA, right, on his own.
And I honestly, wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
No, I think it will now. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Cameron,
Clueless.
any comment? Clueless. Okay.
I have one more little bit here, little buffet of bits. You guys know this song? Doo-doo, doo-doo,
Pink Panther.
doo-doo.
Pink Panther.
My girlfriend just bought me pink pants, so I've been walking around the house as the pink pantser.
That sounds like you're going around pantsing people, though.
The pink pants. Yeah, I am.
Sounds like
I
you
have
got a
been doing
new.
that.
Sounds like you got a new handle, a screen name. I'm the Pink Panther.
Your picture's going to
good.
need to accompany it.
I don't want to get confused with the pink prancer either. I'm not prancing. I'm pantsing.
Slinking around of sorts.
Could you give us a walk just for us, and we'll try to describe what we see? Let me see what it looks like.
I feel fashion forward in these things. I do.
Sure.
Well, I'll be
Yeah.
the judge of that.
But be in character.
Oh, wow. He's really out of frame right now, so really we see nothing, but it's a fine walk from the corner of the screen.
Ooh.
You can tell by the way I walk.
Yeah, those are all the words.
That's it. That's my
I
buffet.
saw my reflection today. Waiting for Megan to go on a little walk after work, and I saw my reflection, and when she came out, I go, and I know I'm 35, but I'm like, man, I just look like an adult now, and I'm like, I don't like it.
Is that when that happens at that age?
No, but I mean, I probably looked like an adult for more
Oh.
than to just today. But I saw myself. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm looking older, not in a good way.
Well, on that scary note of the future, should we wrap up this episode?
I didn't get to the topic I want to talk about, but I'm like, Colts doesn't make sense. We'll save that for. That's what I was gonna lead with. That's all I wanted to talk about.
Well, I can't wait for next week. Thanks for tuning into the Urban Hermit Podcast. Thank you.
If you're wondering where my headspace was before this start, wasn't good.
Thanks again for checking this out. Make sure you check out the whole network, the whole Majestic Jam Network, Cold Classics Podcast, Highwire Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll check you next time.